Poll open in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to a new season of Mocha in the Morning. I am your host, Miss Keisha Boyd, and this is my co-host, officially Jorge, and we are so glad to be back to add a little flavor to your morning blend. How are you, darling?
I'm feeling brand new.
Hey! And you're looking like brand new money.
I was wondering because these seats were going to kind of like chill.
You know, we had to light them up a little bit.
Trying to warm them up again.
Yes, they missed us. I'm sure you all have missed us just as much as we have missed you. We have so much to talk about.
So much.
Oh my goodness.
But you know the drill.
Yes, but
first, coffee. Oh my God, see, like that was cute.
That's cute.
Mocha in the Morning is brought to you in part by the Portico Cafe, where conversation, connection, and community create change.
Three, two, one, drop.
Once again, welcome back to Mocha in the Morning. We are here. It's a new season. And my goodness, do we have some steamers to talk about. What you got
I know.
for
I
us?
feel
My
like,
goodness.
should we like rewind or something and start from June?
Right. Because we've been gone for like 3 months. And my goodness, there's so many things that have happened. But for starters.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's never a shortage of steamers, though. And this week, the Supreme Court actually is going to consider whether Civil Rights Act protects the LGBTQ and all the other letters workers. So in other words,
can you be fired if you're gay?
Yeah, exactly. Or even transgender.
Mm-hmm.
So the funny thing about it is this is the Obama administration actually. That administration was the one who actually took it to the Department of Justice that was pro the civil rights that will protect the LGBTQ community. But this particular administration is doing like the reverse. So they heard it this week, and it'll probably another 6 to 9 months before there's a decision by the Supreme Court.
What is...
Yeah, I mean, it just seems, for whatever reason, it just seems that anything
that Obama did, he wants to reverse it. Like there's no rhyme or reason or logic behind this. What are you doing it for? Just to say that you don't agree with what President Obama did, so you're going to switch it because what?
Not only that, it just seems like it's a vicious attack
It is.
On the LGBTQ community, but especially the transgender community. It just seems a lot more vicious and malicious to that particular niche in that community. Because we all know there has been such a rise in violence towards people who are transgender, and especially the largest community of transgender people happen to be Black. Mm-hmm. And those are the ones who are being either assaulted and or murdered.
Wow, that is just sad. So we'll keep you posted on that.
Yeah.
You know,
anything involving your rights, we'll make sure. So we know we're going to hear a lot more than that.
Yeah.
It's just the Supreme Court, not until later.
Now,
I don't know if this is
I
like
don't know
a thing.
either, but let me think.
I heard.
You got heard what?
I heard that Beyonce might have another bun in the oven.
Yeah, I've been hearing people say she's pregnant, but she's been pregnant for like months, according to some people.
Yeah.
And
if it's wrong, y'all can blame Kia, because she's the one who told us this was a thing.
With Kia, and she, she got some receipts or whatever. But if she is, congratulations.
Yeah.
She's married. They have a beautiful family. If they want to keep adding to that family, then keep going. And look, they can afford them. You know what I'm saying? Like, she already said they got a compound on her fortress.
Yeah, that's
true.
Right? All these compounds and fortresses.
Yes.
Speaking of fortresses, let's talk about super interesting. So I saw in the NPR was reporting this whole situation that's happening with the NBA.
Right.
And I didn't even know that basketball is like huge
Overseas,
in China.
yeah.
And so it looks like they did some sort of 180 because, of course, what's happening in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
The suppression of wow, everything's so rights related.
Yeah.
Right. The suppression and the oppression of the people in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And so there's an NBA coach who spoke out against it. Well, I guess a lot of their coinage is from China, and so the Chinese government put some pressure on the NBA, and then they flipped.
They did.
And now they're flipping again.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. There were some NBA players who were like, hey, we don't want to mess up our relationship, with China. And I'm
yeah.
kind of like, hold up. Like, wait a minute. So you're going to sell out the core values or the values of, the American people and what we stand for just because you're making all this money in China? Like, seriously?
Oh, come on. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. People are selfish. They're selfish.
Mm-hmm.
So if you messing with my bank account, some people don't have the moral compass to stand behind what they believe in because they're more
Right.
they're more fearful of the material things that they will lose
Right.
for standing up for the rights
But it's
of
kind of
others.
like, how much more money does the NBA need to make?
Oh God!
they
It's
don't-
someone
I mean-
that's rich who wants to be richer. Like that's just how it rolls.
Yeah.
That's how they stay rich.
I was just surprised that some of the basketball players were kind of like, hey, sorry, China, like, we don't really mean it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're quick too. Quick.
Real quick.
To flip
Anyways,
that script.
so we'll see because this is going to play out. There's so much flipping back and
Yeah.
forth, back and forth. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
All right.
So,
Well, stay
Speaking
tuned.
of flipping, we should flip to a break, right?
Yes. We'll be right back with Piping Hot right here on Mocha in the Morning. Welcome back to Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend. Once again, I'm your host, Keisha Boy, and this is my co-host, officially Jorge, and it's time for our piping hot topics. And we have some special guests that I know you all have missed over the summer. Jorge, introduce our wonderful contributors.
We have our fabulous Mocha in the Morning contributors, kicking it with Kia. Hey, girl, hey. Good to see you. Have you back.
I'm so excited!
Congratulations on your
awesome.
new home and everything.
I know, I'm so excited to be back. I gotta get something for the wall again, for the new wall.
That's
And
right.
then
Something
house.
promising. And also, we'd like to welcome back on the show, Miss Jen Dobson. Welcome back to Mocha in the Morning.
Hi!
And
Hey, I'm so
congratulations to you and your new set of wheels.
Thank
It's
you!
brand new up in
Everybody
here.
level up, level up, level up. All right, let's jump right into our piping hot for this week. So, let me tell you, Tyler Perry
Did it.
did the dang on thing. Do you hear me? This man just opened up a studio, 330 acres
It's so big.
of studio. When I tell you, everyone who was anyone
Yeah.
was at the grand opening gala and
What?
3-day event that he had for them. And just, oh my God, just to hear people speak about the fabulousness and the history and the 10 sound stages, 12 sound stages
12.
that he revealed in the honor of Whoopi Goldberg,
Halle Berry.
Denzel,
Carroll.
Diane Carroll, God rest her soul, and just the homage that he's paying to those who paved the way for him.
Yeah.
Take a look at this video real quick and we'll come back and talk.
Yeah, we couldn't be there because we had to be here.
Right.
Because anybody was there, and
We-
we're still not even. We had a prior commitment.
That's how much we love y'all. That we skipped Tyler Perry's event to be here for Mocha in the Morning. But Kia, talk to us about this and what this means for the entertainment industry.
It means a lot. I think Tyler Perry said it best in his speech he gave at the BET Awards. Everybody's been fighting for a seat at the table, but I decided to make my own table.
That's right.
And let's be honest, Tyler Perry has never really been acknowledged by Hollywood, mostly because his music is his movies are really crappy. But in general, he has really made a space where Black actresses and actors have really been able to, be seen, and I think that's amazing. And I don't think people really grasp how big 380 acres is. I mean, we're talking about a small city at this point. We're talking about Edenville and Orlando kind of size. We're talking about 2 Florida A&M campuses, 4 A&M campuses all put together. That's how big this compound is. Each soundstage is actually named after somebody who's inspired him. A little bit of dirt. Him and Spike Lee have been fighting for a long time, and he actually named one of the sound stages after Spike Lee.
That's Amanda, but that's a man. That's what a man does.
That's
or
what
a
a real
lady.
man. Yeah, but you know what? I saw the interview with Spike Lee, and they said, "So are you guys gonna work together?" He was like, "Hey, I'm open to it." He clearly has the money.
Yeah.
So, hey, and you can't. I mean, that's how you boss up, like, brother. Yeah. I'm about to name a soundstage after you. All this we've been talking about, it don't mean a dang on thing. Mm-mm. Let's make this money. Let's get this work done.
Yeah, and what's really cool is that his studio is a lot bigger than like some of the
Warner, Disney,
yeah,
put together.
Yes,
like, that's how you boss up.
Yeah.
You know.
So,
and then the other thing that I know that Whoopi Goldberg was talking about was that she's been in this business for a long time. Cicely Tyson, oh my God, for her to be honored and to witness this. And they were like, we don't know the people who started Disney. We've never met people who own Warner and all this extra stuff. Jen, what do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I agree with Kia. I think that it was pretty amazing that he was able to create something like this. But then, I mean, looking at it obviously from the financial side, and the money that he put into this. So, I mean, the land alone was $7 million, which actually was a pretty good steal, if you really think about it. Yeah, I mean, but the revenue that they're expecting to generate from this studio, where we're going to see Black and brown faces represented, that's money that in the past has never come back to the Black community that we will now be able to reap the benefits of. So it's like bigger than just, movies and it's so much bigger. It's a way for Black people to truly have generational wealth, starting from something that he created. It's going to be absolutely powerful. I mean, they're looking at like $900 million in like revenue in like the first year alone. I mean, we're talking some serious money.
How many jobs
really cool. What's really cool?
How many jobs
I know that.
Go ahead, Kia.
I was saying, how many jobs has been created? Does anybody know how many jobs are actually being created by the building of the studio?
I don't know the number, but I know it's a lot.
It's a lot.
I wouldn't mind sitting in that employment line.
Hello.
But what's really cool is that apparently the studios has been built like on Confederate land.
Oh yeah.
And not only that, what I think is really great about Tyler Perry is that he tends to reinvigorate the careers of Black actors who haven't seen in a hot minute.
Yep.
And that's what I think is like really, really, really cool. Is that he could pull someone out from back somewhere.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden recreate their whole career.
Absolutely.
And so like really cool. Like that.
So shout out to Tyler Perry and his whole team for making some dreams come true, including his own. So
God bless
woo woo. One day you'll see us there doing some great things. Hey. All right, let's move on to something a little less exciting.
I just want to get through the episode, or we don't have to talk about someone being shot.
Right. But Amber Geiger was found guilty of murdering both. Is it both them? John. In his apartment. His apartment that she says she mistakenly walked into. So there was some justice. There's so many layers to this that we have to spend some time to kind of get through them. First of all, we're great that, it's great that she was found guilty. The jury was top notch in regards to diversity. Okay, so she probably knew going in that this was not going to be a good look with that jury.
Right.
Okay. She only got 10 years. I was a little disappointed in that because I know people who've done way less and got a lot more time. So, first of all, let's talk about that part of the situation. What are your thoughts?
I still don't get it. I mean, she shot and killed a man in his home.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought that when you did something like that, you either go to jail forever or you get a death sentence. Like, am I missing something here?
She's white.
You know, and I was talking about this with my husband. We're like, wait a minute. So she goes up into his house, kills him, in 10 years.
10
like,
years. What is
what?
that?
I don't get it.
Kia,
I'm stuck.
So I'll explain a little bit from what I understand. So what the jury and what happened is they actually basically split the baby. They, for 10 years is what she would have gotten for involuntary manslaughter, because that's technically what she did. She went in there and didn't mean to kill him and probably didn't want to kill him. They can't prove that she did it on purpose, but she quote unquote feared for her life, but you can't prove if someone feared for their life or not. And she shot and killed him in a complete accident, because we can't prove it wasn't an accident. So what the jury did was they gave her a murder charge, but still gave her the involuntary manslaughter time in jail. So it sounds good. Oh, she got charged with murder, but in reality, she got charged with manslaughter, or got convicted of manslaughter and got the manslaughter 10 years. That's what it would have been for anybody, black, white, or whatever, because it is involuntary manslaughter. She thought it was her home. She got scared. I never thought it was a burglar. And I'm pretty sure Brooklyn Jean reacted how any of us would react if we heard somebody coming to our door. Hey, who that? And then now she's screaming, they're yelling back and forth, and now he gets shot. I know that's not what everybody wants to hear, but that's my opinion. But his brother is a better human being than any of us will ever be. It's one thing to forgive. It's another thing to forget and hug this person like this is. It's like, yeah, no. I'm going to go with no.
Jen, what are your thoughts?
No. So I get what Kia's saying. However, I will have to say that I feel like there's too many cases that show that black people get way more time for accidentally doing something even close to this. I mean, there's people sitting in jail for 10 and 15 years for selling marijuana. You know, I understand how, you know, how the law works and the time and so forth. But at the end of the day, like, she certainly deserved more than 10 years. I mean, she's going to get out in what, five and a half? I mean, that's not enough time. I don't care if it was an accident. Guess what? If I drive down the street and I've had a couple of drinks and I kill somebody, I am getting more than 10 years.
No, absolutely. I agree with you. I feel like the jury should have said, if you're going to give her a murder charge and convict her of murder, which is what they did, she has to get the time. Right. You guys pick a different charge. That's what they did. They split it and like, oh, well, we'll just say it's murder to make everybody happy, but we'll give her the involuntary manslaughter time.
Right. Right. Which didn't make sense. I mean, she should have gotten at least 20 years.
Yes.
I think that would have been more reasonable. I don't know if you guys noticed, but that Michael DeJock guy, he was convicted of 20 years. It's not the same case, and I understand that there's, you know, with him, he was a little more aggressive. But at the end of the day, he still got 20 years. She should have certainly got 20 years for walking into somebody else's house and then killing them in their own house. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's just...
and we'll move on from this because we could talk forever. But then just, you know, I understand the forgiveness part and all that stuff. I don't judge anybody. They can do what they want to do. If you want to hug her, that's okay. God bless you, all that stuff. I don't know if I would have done the same thing. And yes, he may be a better person than me or not. You know, that's just personal. But the deputy rubbing her hair in the courtroom, I was like, what is going on here? You know, I mean, it's just so many different things happening in this courtroom that I just couldn't understand. And I may never understand, and I'm okay with that. I really am, you know. But
well, I'm here to judge That's my job on this show is to judge, and all those people really overstepped their bounds. No, everybody in that courtroom overstepped their bounds as far as it being a judicial system. It's one
Absolutely.
thing because there's always officers who then write convicts and say, "Hey, I know this happened to you. Keep your head up." I'll cut. Like there are definitely officers who do this. Black, white. I have seen this plenty of times where they reach out to people that they've convicted just to make sure you're okay. But they don't do it in a courtroom, and they don't do it on a high-profile case where racial tensions are really, really high. Like really, really high.
Really high.
It was like, I think it was a slap in the face. It was a slap in the face to Black people. It was a slap in the face to every Black person who has gone to jail, who got a stern talking to. They certainly didn't get no hug. It was just completely, it's like the Black community, like, not to stereotype, but it seems like we're always so eager to be forgiving and oh, well, it's okay. And we're going to let it slide. And we do this time and time again. And they all took it too far. And the brother, he was young, but it was just, to me, it was unacceptable behavior.
Here's the issue, I feel like, and I know we can't say this forever, but I feel like if it didn't have the she was sleeping with her partner component in it, if it didn't have the racist component in it, if she had been a good officer and a good person volunteering and this happened to her, people would feel a whole lot differently. But that's not what we're dealing with. If she was one of those women who was going to the schools in the Black community, and this is one of those fluke things that she was tired, I feel like we could all see it differently. Like, okay, we can forgive her because this is not who she was. This really was an accident. Amber Geiger is not that person.
Right.
Messages alone, the inappropriateness, the fact that instead of taking care of this man on the ground, she's got one hand talking to 911, then she gets around her fellow officers. Her first thought is, my life is ruined. There's a man dead on the floor, but you're worrying about your life being ruined. There was a very carelessness about it that I have a problem with forgiving. That's my.
Well, the other thing too, and we'll wrap this up, is one of the, witnesses, Joshua Brown, who was also a USF student, was killed, and he was a witness in this case.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yep.
But now they have 3 suspects in custody. And I just don't believe it.
Yeah, I
just don't.
I
So
don't understand how she ends up with all the sympathy and you have a man who's dead and now another one. Anyway,
exactly, now another one. It's just a domino effect. But we'll move on. You know what? We'll take do we need to take a break here? Maybe not.
Yeah, let's digest that and come right back.
We'll be right back. All right, we're back with more piping hot topics on Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend. So there are great things happening on Netflix and many other channels, but we're going to choose to talk about Netflix today. Yeah. So tell us, what's your pick for the week?
I actually saw something that kind of struck me, and that's Chelsea Handler's new documentary about understanding white privilege. And so I had to watch it a couple of times, but I think everyone should watch it, not because it's her, but because, again, there's so many layers. So whether you like it or not, I'm not a huge fan of Chelsea, because I've actually been to her show and I thought her cast and crew were pretty rude to the people who stood in line waiting there all day to come see her show. But I think after watching this particular documentary about her, it just helped me understand her better as a person. And, and I thought it was pretty courageous of her to actually, take this on. And then you actually learn a little bit more about her personal life, because she always talks about, her African-American boyfriends. And, and for a long time, I just thought that was just a whole bunch of just crap. But in actuality, you get to learn in this documentary that all that stuff about her life is real. How she handled the dialogue and the way this documentary was going is questionable, but
she gets an A for effort.
Exactly. I mean, she completely exposed herself. In some parts of it, she seemed quite up to date on certain things, and other parts she looked super ignorant. But I think truly that was the whole purpose, of that particular documentary. Kia, did you see it?
What in the mayo-covered cornflakes was that documentary supposed to be? I mean, honestly, like, I get it. She put herself out there. Great. You got pregnant by a black guy a bunch of times. Y'all got arrested. Y'all were selling drugs. Great. That's fantastic. But all that, I feel like, overshadowed the actual conversation that was supposed to be happening about white privilege. She went to the house full of Republican women who were all white, and she didn't push them on anything. She tried to get them to open their eyes, and they were just like, well, no, I don't think it's real. I don't think it's happening. I just think we should just get over it. Get over what, ma'am? Which part are we supposed to be getting over? And that's the part where I thought she didn't push. So,
well, I kind of think that, and I can understand that, but I also think is like, in journalism, you always learn. Let everybody else talk, because then you really get to see, you get so much more information. So I was kind of glad that she didn't say much, because then we got to really hear, what these Orange County, housewives and, white female Republicans think. The more they talk, the better, because then we have more insight into their way of thinking and their mode of operation. So in some parts, I thought I was glad that she didn't talk, and in some parts, I thought she could have pushed back for more. But for that part in particularly, I was more interested in what those women had to say than what Chelsea had to say.
Gotcha.
But we never get to see that.
Yeah,
I've never seen a conversation like that. Like, wow, and where they so believe what they believe.
Yeah.
And I don't, that level of just not being, I don't know, it's anyways,
a bubble,
I do agree in the part that she said, that's an issue that people of color, like, that's not for us to resolve. Mm-hmm. White privilege is an issue that white people need to resolve with themselves.
All right, so moving on from that, Dolomite is my name. Miss Kia, I know this is your, jam.
I am so excited for this movie because everybody that we used to love in the 90s as actors are now in this movie. Eddie Murphy and Wesley Snipes are all in this movie. Lunel's in this movie. It's an entirely black cast outside of the white prostitutes that they have in the movie. But everybody else, no, for real, I'm not being funny. I know that sounds like a joke I would do, but everybody in there is black. And Tyler Burgess? Am I saying his name right? Titus Burgess.
Mm-hmm.
Titus. Yes, you might remember him from another Netflix show. And he is awesome. I think it's going to be a wonderful movie. I can't wait to see Eddie Murphy back. He also has a stand-up coming out soon, so this is going to be... I cannot wait for this. I already saw the trailer, and the trailer is so, so good.
Let me tell y'all something, right? And this is going to be great. I can't wait to see it either. Yeah. But we were just talking about Eddie Murphy. This is totally off topic, but look. Eddie Murphy has not been working forever, right? And somebody was like, yeah, he's out of, the period where Nicole can take his money. His ex-wife.
Oh, your wife, though, he is.
He's out of that. So now he's like, oh, I don't have to give you no money, so let me go ahead and get my coins. So that's why you see him with his alimony.
What do they call that, though? Like when, time goes by, then... you're legally allowed to, or they can't legally come for you. What's that called?
I don't know. But whatever it is, he was smart and was like, I'm chilling. So now he's coming back with his stand-up, his movies. He's like, oh, I can work now.
Yeah. And I feel bad for Nicole Murphy, his ex-wife, because she tried to steal somebody else's husband to get more money, and that just didn't work out for her. So, yeah.
The shade is real, but very factual. All right. Now, Miss Rihanna, right, everybody loves Super Bowl, right? Mm-hmm. Sort of. But Rihanna was like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
How about now?
Well, this was really awesome about Rihanna. In the latest issue of Vogue, which another Vogue cover for Rihanna, talk about Rihanna blowing up all over the world. Yeah. I mean, she launched her her line out of Paris. She's on the cover of Vogue, right? In her design. And she's calling the shots. Her Fenty, Savage Fenty line came out. It's a Rihanna, and no music, right?
Right.
And
she's making money moves.
And wow, it's truly Amazing. So very interesting. And basically, she said no to the Super Bowl for what we felt are the right reasons because of what was happening, of course, in the community of color with all of our African males being shot by police. It was kind of like, I'm sticking with this,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, Jen, what do you think about that?
She called it real
Yeah.
sellout if they did it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Rihanna is really like, I've always liked Rihanna, but I think she's really shining. She's really coming into herself, even more so as she gets older. Like, I think she's becoming more responsible. She recognizes her responsibility in the Black community and as a woman. Like, and I love what she said, like, and I'm going to quote it. She said, I couldn't dare do that. For what? Who gains from that? Not my people. I just couldn't be a sellout. I couldn't be an enabler. There's things within that organization that I do not agree with at all, and I was not about to go and be of service to them in any way. Like, that was really powerful.
Yeah.
Because she's like, the money, I recognize the struggle that's going on in the NFL, and I'm not going to be a part of it. So hands down, like, amazing job from her.
Yeah, absolutely. So J-Lo performing at halftime, is that a...
Well, we're not going to pit women against each other.
No.
We are. Yes, we
just
are.
saying.
Especially women of color.
Kia, what were you saying?
We absolutely are going to put them against each other. J-Lo, you have big nerve. Acting like you have no idea any of this stuff is going on. You have no idea that this was going to cause controversy. I understand it's a big deal to get chosen to do the Super Bowl. But, girl, you don't need the money. What's the point? You know it affects the community that really does. Do Black people like her music? Does she have music? That's not the point of this conversation. But grand stage, but she doesn't have to do it. She could show solidarity with the rest of us, and she's choosing not to. And Shakira is also going to do it, and Shakira owes tax money. So it is what it is. I mean, it's fine. Shakira owes a lot of money in back taxes. A lot. So I get why she's doing it. But I don't know why.
Yeah, and the IRS don't lie.
No, don't lie.
She needs to reemploy her hips.
Look.
And speaking of hip,
Hey, who's
let's
to
talk
Shakira?
about the I Am Hip Hop Award that went to the fabulous
I have one question. Wait,
Lil
Jen just
Kim.
asked a really good question. Why did they choose Shakira? Shakira doesn't have no music out.
Nobody
And who's
listens to
checking for her?
Well, you know Super Bowl collaborations. There's always some sort of theme about it, and it's kind of like when Missy Elliott came out of Katy
Perry,
Perry's
yeah.
performance. We're like,
Where'd she come from?
Where did that come from? And then all these millennials are like, oh my gosh, she's amazing. Who is that? We're
Right.
like, that's Missy.
Right.
So I don't even understand who puts together the Super Bowl shows, like what they think whenever they put things together. But it's just like a Latina X thing, whatever. Oh, our producer just told us Jay-Z is putting it together. So maybe Jay-Z and Rihanna should have a conversation about that.
All right, listen. The BT Hip Hop Awards happened, and OMG.
Hey.
Can we talk about Lil Kim?
Yes, snatching the trophy.
She did snatch a trophy. She snatched a few other things too. Like, I was like, can she snatch some breath on this stage? What? I was like, oh, Lil Kim looked tired. But
okay.
I was like, oh, Lord, somebody help her. Listen.
Well, I mean, can you imagine, like, everything looks so
tight.
constricted.
I was like, oh, she just looked like she about to pop.
Yeah, but
I
she's
enjoyed the
amazing.
music and the show,
She's
but I'm
amazing.
just saying, I was like, oh, Lord, somebody go get her some oxygen or something. I'm sorry. Kia.
I mean, Lil Kim. First of all, her and the whole squad look like they way too old to be on stage doing it. They have been some late. The time to the hourglass has not worked out in the right places. But she did that outfit was tight. Like, they had to paint that on her. And maybe Lil Kim needs to realize those days are gone. Wear what's comfortable so you can really get on stage. Like, sometimes Mary J. Blige doesn't wear the super tight stuff because she wants to be bouncing around in her jersey and her boots and stuff. And Lil Kim needs to move on to that point. Side note, did anybody else see that she almost beat up a PETA protester the other day?
Yes.
That was hilarious. I died laughing at that. She almost got in a fight with a PETA protester.
Look, we cannot forget that she is the ill nana.
The ill nana, baby. And with that, we'll be right back with Mocha in the Morning.
Thank you, ladies. I'm officially Jorge, and this is your Mocha Minute.
That's right, where music, movies, and much more is brought to you by Black in the Bay, your online connection to everything that's Black in the Bay.
Now check out all of the hot tracks on this week's Billboard charts.
Check out what's going on in Black cinema.
And here are some national and local events that are happening on your side of town.
This has been your Mocha Minute. I am Keisha Boyd.
And I'm officially Jorge.
Stay tuned. And this has been the kickoff to our new season of Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend. I am your host, Keisha Boyd, and my co-host, officially Jorge. We are so thankful to all of you, our sponsors, contributors, and most of all, our viewers. And please,
make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Mocha Morning Show. No G. We want you to share your stories with us.
And for more coffee talk, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Stay tuned right here for this week's Mocha Moment.